I'm Glenn Robert Ford, writer and director of the short film The Fix. The Fix is inspired by true elements, though it's a work of fiction. My father, who's no longer with us, he was an alcoholic. And while he was still alive, I had this spark of interest to create something so relatable, but so impactful. The Fix has so many different elements, not just substance abuse and addiction and alcohol abuse, but domestic violence, because substance abuse and domestic violence pretty much go hand in hand, but most importantly, mental health. Now, one's mental health can trigger all of those things, and regardless if you have, whether or not you have an addiction problem, or you may have issues at work or your relationship or at school, your mental health can be affected by these situations and circumstances. So I wanted to make a film that was relatable to so many different people, so many different demographics, because alcohol, depression has no color, no gender. It doesn't have a title. We all go through it, no matter who we are and where we come from. As far as the creative process regarding production, the last scene of the movie was originally supposed to be the entire movie. And during that time, it was hours away from my father's memorial. My father had just passed away. It was October 2018. And this is hours before his memorial. So there's a lot of emotions running. And the director of photography had a prior engagement. And I reached out to him about a week prior, and he told me that he had an engagement earlier on, and I said, listen, I'll wait for you. We could start at midnight, we could start at 2 in the morning. I just really need you for this night. And it ended up working out. He came after his engagement. Once I received the text, I was elated. And like I said, there was a lot of emotions running that night because we're hours away from my father's memorial, not even 24 hours away. We're literally just a few hours. So I'm running on adrenaline, emotion. The temperature was right, the weather was right. It was inclement weather, but it added to that scene. It's a very powerful scene. It involves myself and the lead, Lance Liverpool, who plays Marcus. And you just see the confrontation between a friend who's there for his best friend who's down and out. And I wanted that to be a representation of friends and family to do more while the affective loved one is still alive, rather than regret when they pass away. And we knocked it out of the park. And after we shot that scene, I decided to build around the movie more. So I started creating scenes, adding additional scenes. The pandemic actually created 2 more scenes. I thought I was finished with this film, but the pandemic let me reflect yet again and see what holes I can fill in the previous version. And we ended up putting together 2 more scenes, and I was finally content with it. But the most fun that I've had, and I've had fun with every shoot, whether it was George Andriakos, Ari Barkin, Sergio Dallavici, Rebecca L. Hargrove, who's a phenomenal, they're all talented people. But my favorite moment, aside from the last scene, because it's dear to my heart, you know, but the most fun I've had was when I was filming the drunk driving scenes, and I was on top of my friend's car. I was on the hood of his car while he was driving 8 miles per hour, and I had to get the shot because I didn't have fancy equipment to shoot those scenes as his car is in motion. I had to do what I could, you know. I had to work with what I had, and I had a lot of fun shooting that. And as far as what I wish to accomplish with this film, I hope it saves lives, most importantly. I know it's a showcase of these wonderful actors, actresses with amazing talent and amazing performances, but most importantly, You know, this is a film of awareness, so I tried the best that I could to raise awareness in this film to not only friends, family, but strangers, you know. Anyone that's down and out, someone who doesn't have a support system, but they could just find the will to change by watching this film. So I hope to impact lives, and I hope to save them. I would like to present this film to AA meetings, you know, domestic violence centers, and substance abuse centers. You know, shopping this around to nonprofit organizations that contribute to all of those awarenesses aforementioned. So that's the ultimate goal. It's great to showcase the talent, like I said, and this is my first short film, and I take great pride in it, and I was able to honor my dad with this film. But most importantly, I think the greatest accomplishment would be to receive a letter or a text message or a phone call or any message regarding someone's life being saved from watching this film. And that supersedes any film festival selection, any award, any compliment. The ultimate goal would be to save some lives.